Buenas tardes, amigos. This is such a delight to be on again. It is our final episode. It is so great to finally be on here. Thank you, Spiritlive. This has been a great 6-episode run. We will try to be back here if we're allowed to come back here. I think we are.
We would love to come back.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we hope to put out some YouTube videos. So if you like our content, please follow us on Beyond the Neg on YouTube.
Yeah. We have some content coming in the next couple weeks. And how about we start with you, Tom?
Oops.
What did we just? We'll give you 10 seconds. Guess what you just heard? Okay, that's enough time for you to guess. Tom.
That is, we were just kind of listening to this actually before we started recording.
Yeah.
It's got so much juice. It's awesome.
So it goes so hard.
It's the Top Gun theme.
It's a Top Gun anthem, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this song right here, it's like such an I want to fly like a fighter jet when I.
Well, I mean,
song.
the movie.
Not like shoot.
Yeah. After the first movie, they did have the sign up for the Navy, right? For the Army. Didn't the Army sales go up?
Oh, really?
I think they had. I don't know what it's called, but
dude,
like, when
movies are great marketing.
They had the movie, and as you would come out of the movie, you could sign up to be part of the Navy or Air Force, whichever one it was, and the sales went up.
That's terrible propaganda, but yeah,
Top Gun is propaganda. Is it not?
It is actually. It is.
Rah rah America, let's go in jets.
Yeah. No, I feel that I have the same feeling.
I mean, the movie makes you want to fly a jet.
It absolutely
quite
does.
frankly. I mean,
it absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I think that for this film as well, it's not so much about like shooting guns out of a plane. It's more so cruising on a plane, just like into the sunset kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
especially with this song.
That's what the director Tony Scott likes, right? He likes
chilling.
He likes those beautiful sunrises and sunset. Almost all his movies are filmed in one of those two, sunset or sunrise, with beautiful orange skies.
He's actually got decent, like really good cinematography.
That's one of the things I got to talk about in our.
Really?
So obviously, Top Gun is Tony Scott, and we thought because Ridley Scott has a new movie coming out, Gladiator 2, we thought we would do a little Tony versus Ridley debate.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
And kind of interesting, Top Gun 2 and Gladiator 2 share some similarities. But you have not seen Gladiator 2 yet? So
I've not.
Okay, we can talk about that in a later episode.
I'm supposed to watch it with someone who I want to bring on. Akira and Matteo. They need to come on here.
Oh, we're excited to have them.
Yeah, maybe sometime in the future. But they're kind of busy on mine. We also have to have, we were talking about this a few days ago. There's a few people we want to bring on that you guys will absolutely love, but we have to get permission from them first. Do you have any like professors in mind you want to bring on here?
I
might agree to it?
I'd have to ask.
Yeah. I have 2 professors in mind that I want to bring on. I might get like criticized heavily by them, but there's no hurt in asking ever.
So. Tony or Ridley, whose filmography do you like more?
The thing is, when this conversation kind of came up, I really wanted to say a lot about it, but unfortunately, I've only seen 3 Tony films, and one of them was 2 of them actually were terrible films. So. The first one was Deja Vu. That's the first film I ever saw of Tony Scott. It was, man, it's so all over the place. It doesn't make any sense. You might like it.
Deja Vu is one of the Tony films I have not seen. I've seen most of his filmography, but Deja Vu is one that I haven't got to yet.
You should watch that one next. Sorry, I can't dictate what you watch next. But
I want to.
It's very interesting. Maybe if I rewatch, I might like it because I saw it in grade 8.
It's one of the 4 team ups with Ridley Scott did with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I think Denzel is probably the highlight of that movie. But
Denzel's the highlight of most movies.
He is actually. Is he the you saw Gladiator 2? Is he the highlight of Gladiator 2?
Yes. This is not spoiling the movie, but I think he actually takes over the movie from Paul Mescal.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is he supporting or like a leading?
I don't want to give away too much because stuff happens. But Denzel, if he's on screen, you're looking at him. Mm-hmm. If he's the main focus of the scene or not, you're probably going to end up looking at him.
But Paul Mescal is to Russell Crowe in the film as to Denzel Washington. Is he to like Oliver Reed, like the gladiator trainer, or no? Is it like complicated?
That's how it starts out. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's like the gladiator dude. Okay. And then they got to duke it out. So I saw Deja Vu, and it was semi decent. I don't know. I feel like the idea out there is good. It just doesn't make sense by the end, and I'm like super confused. I don't like ambiguous endings that much. And I did see it when I was like super young. I saw it like grade 7. Sorry, I always mistakenly veer off the mic, so I apologize.
Just angle the mic towards you if you want.
Yeah, no, it's angled towards me. Don't worry, bro. And then I also saw Taking of Pelham 123, which I know the original is really good. What do you think of the original? You tell us about it, because I know you love it.
The original is awesome. It's got a great cast. It's got Ben Stiller's dad is actually in it in a small role as the radio person.
Ben Stiller's dad.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's got Robert Shaw. It's got a lot of great actors. It's an inspiration for Tarantino. That's where Tarantino got his one of his ideas for Reservoir Dogs, with naming the Mr. White, Pink, and all that, is from this movie.
Yeah.
It's a great thriller set on a train mostly, and that confined space is really cool. It adds a lot to the film. This is another one of the Tony Scott ones I haven't seen. This and Deja Vu are two that just kind of rub me the wrong way, but we're going to get to some of his films that I love, because I think he has some really strong films.
And I've obviously seen Top Gun, but that's...
Have you seen True Romance?
I've not.
Okay, because that's him too. That's a great one of his.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of his better ones. I've heard.
That's one of my top 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I thought it would be interesting to start this conversation off with looking at both of their first filmographies. So Ridley is the older brother, and he got his start in 1977 with The Duelist.
Oh, I love that one.
Tony got his start in 1983 with The Hunger. And what's interesting about The Hunger is it comes a year after... well, the movie is about vampires, and they are hungry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The movie comes out in 1983, which is the year after Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, and those movies share a visual and thematic style, which is very interesting. I'm not sure if Ridley had anything to do with that one, but that one definitely feels in conversation with something like Blade Runner a lot more than some of Tony's later films.
Like it's more like cyberpunky?
Yes, they both... you could take frames from either and kind of mix and match, and they would feel of a vision.
Okay.
That's I don't know if the story fully works. It goes on some weird tangents, but as with many of the Scott brothers films, both
Scott brothers.
Yes, their strongest attributes are in their visuals.
Right.
Neither of them.
Ridley is strong in visuals?
Yes, very. Blade Runner, Gladiator.
But Gladiator is like an all-rounder, and Alien's like an all-rounder, and Blade Runner is like an all-rounder.
Well, the interesting thing is neither of the brothers write their own scripts.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
A big part of whether their movie is successful or not is the script good, and that's something that they don't have.
They storyboard though.
Yes, but as with Gladiator, the script is not very good, and the
script is amazing in Gladiator, bro.
The script is in shambles,
dude. Listen to this line. Listen to this line, okay? On my signal, unleash hell.
Now, is that a great script or a great line?
It's a great script.
That's a great line. That's a great line in a bad script.
It's not a bad script, dude. It's not a bad script.
It is a script written by 4 credited writers and probably many more writers, and maybe they all had good ideas, but their good ideas do not gel together, and it makes for a convoluted, messy story.
I don't think they're like bad.
With great visuals, by the way.
I don't think that they're bad like dialogues. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean the dialogue. I mean the character motivations, all that kind of thing.
I disagree with you on the character motivations. We spoke about this last week. Do you want to briefly touch upon it?
Yeah, so Maximus is... we're going to spoil Gladiator, I guess, if you haven't seen it.
Guys, it's been 25 years. Watch it. Come on.
Maximus goes on this great killing spree because his wife and son are murdered, and he's meant to be murdered too, but he escapes and he gets put in the gladiator ring. And the whole movie, he is supposed to be doing this for the revenge of his wife and kid. But then we learn that what is the Lucila's that he has had a love affair with Lucia, and it is implied in the first one and in the second one confirmed that Lucia's kid is Maximus's kid.
Okay, so what is the convolution?
Well, if if the sole movie is I love my wife, I love my kid, I am doing this for my wife and kid, and then you learn, hey, this guy actually cheated. At the time that his wife was giving birth, he's like, I'm also going to cheat on my wife and go with Lucia.
But here's the thing, right?
Because their kids are both 8 years old, right?
I thought about this. Yeah, I thought about this. So maybe in that 8 years prior, he was unfaithful. Like the 8 years when that's happened, he was unfaithful. But after the 8 years, he developed into a stronger man, right? He became more vengeful, and he's more faithful to his family. In that moment, in that year, he's choosing to give up everything for his wife and kids to repay them for all the. You guys don't know what's happening here, but it's pretty funny. I keep veering off the mic.
Now just do this if you're gonna look at me, so you're angled into the mic.
It's blocking the camera. Then I can't see.
The audio will be better.
Okay, we want good audio for you guys.
Only the best for
only the best for Beyond the Neg fans.
Yeah.
And anyways, so he, what I'm suggesting is, 8 years ago, Maximus was a child, immature. But after that 8 years is up,
8 years, he's in his 40s, so he was in his 30s. He was an immature 30-year-old.
Okay, but like at the time, people died at like their 20s, man.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure fidelity was I'm sure fidelity is a big, like not a big thing in the Roman times. But all I mean is, for this guy to be so devoted, I love my kid, I love my wife. He sure had his dalliances. That's all I'm saying. Which I think if you're trying to make a streamlined movie like this, like many of these, this movie takes off of many 70s, 70s and 80s kind of like hero, you killed my wife, you killed my friend, you killed my daughter, son, I'm gonna kill you now.
I think it's very, I kind of don't see it though. Also, I remember the Charles Bronson one. Is it Death Wish? It was Death Wish,
yes.
Right? Yeah,
This is very in tune with the Death Wish kind of style of movie.
Yeah.
And in that, he doesn't have other lovers, and it makes it more streamlined because he's motivated by one thing, and it's not like, oh, I'm so into this thing, but also at the same time of being totally in love with my wife, I cheated. Kind of thing.
But he wasn't.
Whatever. We can move on. My next point would be another noticeable factor to consider with Ridley is obviously that Ridley is still working, but sadly Tony Scott took his own life in 2012.
He did take his own life?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he passed away from like cancer or something.
No, he jumped off a building or a bridge.
Ooh.
Jumped off something. Yeah. And the notable factor in that is obviously Tony's career has stopped with Unstoppable, I think, in 2010 or 2011?
2012, I think.
Was it 2012? Okay.
Well, let me check it out.
Anyways, Unstoppable was his last film, and my point being that Ridley has gone on to make many more films from 2012 onwards, and many of them have been controversial.
Controversial? 2010, yeah, you're right, sorry.
But my point being that they're being controversial, and has that tainted his legacy, or has it grown with things like The Martian? Has the Alien sequels, has House of Gucci,
I see.
Have these movies tainted his reputation, or has he made great movies like The Martian? Which way do you sway on that?
For me, I just think he's an overall great guy. He's just playing around with a camera, and he just wants to have some fun, so let him cook.
So my next point would be that I talked about their great visual style that both brothers have. I think their visual style differs. Ridley Scott, I think, and when I say naturalistic, I don't mean that, like, obviously Alien is not natural. Those aliens,
like a grounded approach of filming, you mean?
I just mean that when you take a still from Prometheus, when you take a still from Alien, when you take a still from Blade Runner, from Gladiator, everything in frame looks like what you would really see, right? Like they're beautiful shots, but they look
out of this world.
No, they look in this world. They look naturalistic.
Okay, so they look realistic.
To me, and what I see with Tony is a very stylized way of filmmaking. With everything is in sunrise or sunset, like in Top Gun.
He's like the OG Michael Bay kind of.
He's better than Michael Bay, but whatever.
No,
but
not.
what I mean is Ridley's
not.
movies. Gladiator looks, it looks like you're in a coliseum, and it looks like if someone had a camera at that time, which obviously they wouldn't, but it looks like that's the frame you would get, right?
Whereas,
with Tony, You have big splashes of red, big splashes of blue, and all these things, and it looks hyper stylized, almost like
what would you think
animated.
What would happen if Tony directed Gladiator?
The Coliseum fights would be at like 6 a.m. so that you could get a beautiful sunrise.
I see what you mean.
And Denzel would probably be in the first one because that's right around the time when those two were in there.
Bro's pre-predicting another parallel universe. I think in a parallel universe. In a parallel universe, we have Tony Scott directing Gladiator and Ridley Scott directing Top Gun.
And my another point would be that I think a point for Ridley would be that Ridley Scott is a juggernaut in the production design and groundbreaking special effects, whether that be practical or CGI. I think Ridley, point for him would be that a lot of his movies are groundbreaking in that sense. Like Alien, the practical effects, the production design are stellar. Same with Blade Runner.
Yeah,
all these movies. And I think that I'm not a biggest fan of Gladiator, the first one, but something that I can admire from it is it looks so good for being a film that came out in 2000 because a lot of it is practical. And when they do use CGI, it is to enhance, not to overtake.
They don't use CGI except for when...
They do. Almost every shot in Gladiator has CGI.
No way. Really?
Yeah. But it's not the main. It's not the main focus of the scene.
I was gonna say the one time I know is actually Oliver Reed in that film is not in the last scene. He's just composited in.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, because he passed away. So they composited him in, and it actually looks really good. My dad, I remember I told him, he's like, "There's no way he's not in that," and I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't notice
the shots in the Coliseum when it's what's his name? Maximus and the tigers. That's a real tiger. That's really Maximus, but it's a composite shot to put them together. It's things like that where it's not a CGI tiger. It's just cutting the frame in half and putting Maximus on this side.
You can't call that CGI, right?
What CGI?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think computer-generated imagery refers to 3D rendered
compositing.
Stuff on screen.
Compositing is CGI.
It's pushing the line.
Well, the Coliseum, the people in the Coliseum, that is CGI.
Yeah.
They built the Coliseum, but they filled it out with CGI. There's CGI in almost all the shots, but it's tastefully done, and it doesn't overtake the scene. It's only to enhance it.
Or what they do is they take a part of the Coliseum, right? They take a part of the Coliseum, and they fill it up with people, and then they duplicate those people in different parts of the Coliseum, so it looks like the Coliseum is filled up.
A really funny thing of that is in Star Wars Attack of the Clones. They do that.
Yeah, they do that. And
sorry, for Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, for the pod race.
And they, if you cut to me, they have a group of people that are real, that are this big, and they copy and paste it. And the funny thing about that is a lot of the people look very distinct, and then you see the same guy with like two heads, with a guy with a red shirt on here and a guy with two heads. You see the same guy with a red shirt and two heads over here, and then over here, and over here.
They look copy-pasted.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyways, so Tony or Ridley? After our discussion.
I'd say he has such a cool name, Ridley. Rolls off the tongue so
You picking Ridley because of his name?
He also he's got more class, you know.
Sure.
He's got more class. He's more fancy. He's more elegant.
So you're picking Ridley.
I'm officially going Ridley Scott.
Okay, I'm going to pick Tony, and not just because you said Ridley, but I'm a Tony fan. While his films might not be classics in the same way, I think he has a sense of pure cinema in him that is just sometimes you want to watch Crimson Tide. Like it may not be the best movie. I gotta watch that one. I gotta watch. But Crimson Tide is it's a movie, right? And sometimes it's not cinema, but it is a movie, and it's just something you want to go see. You can relax. You have a smile on your face. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Speaking of cinema, you know what I saw last week?
What did you see last week?
Oh, this weekend, yesterday as well. Transformers. I love this franchise.
Talk about it.
So Transformers I didn't think I'd like it when I first thought about it, but then I gave it a chance, and it's one of the best film franchises out there.
How many have you seen? Have you seen them all?
I've seen the original Transformers, the cartoon. I feel like does that count?
Yep.
Yeah. I saw the 2007 one, and I saw Revenge of the Fallen so far.
So you've seen the 84 movie, and you've seen the first two Michael Bay. Yeah,
the first two Michael Bay.
Okay. I'm ashamed to say it, but I think I've seen all of them. I think I've
How
seen,
is that a shameful thing?
I think I've seen maybe not the TV show, but I've seen the TV movie from the 80s.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And then I think I've seen everything from the 2000s up.
I think the TV movie is 86. The show is 84.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen them all, and
You saw Transformers 1 as well, right?
yeah, I can't pretend I'm a fan. I think there are funny parts, not funny because they're good, funny because they're bad. Like John Turturro, I think he's going crazy. He's hamming it up, but it's kind of fun.
I love John Turturro in those films.
Shia LaBeouf can be funny, but that's because he's overacting. But not the franchise for me. But please speak to it.
No, I was gonna say like that. One of the funniest parts in Revenge of the Fallen was, and he's like, "I'm beneath the enemy's scrotum," and it's like he's got like the Transformers.
Wow, this is adult cinema, is it not?
Well, actually, you know what I respect from Michael Bay? He says, "I make six." One time he was on record for saying, "I make films for 16-year-old boys. What a crime!" To rub it in the reporter's face, and I agree with that. Why is people judging Michael for wanting to have some cool explosions and really good-looking women and just the whole 9 yards with pleasing a young boy like myself?
I think you can do that, but also reach a broader audience. I don't think you have.
Why do you have to go? Why do you have to reach a broader audience? I think if Transformers with a broader audience would have been terrible. It would have been bad.
Why would it be bad?
Because it's just not niche enough, and there's not enough explosions, and there wouldn't be Megan Fox.
Can you not have Megan Fox and explosions, but also have a movie that caters to more people?
It does cater to a lot of people.
Caters to a lot of 16-year-old boys, I think is what you mean.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Paris, Texas doesn't cater to a broader audience.
How does it not?
It's very niche. It's very slow.
Does slow mean niche?
Yes. In my opinion. Because slow is a style. Not everyone likes slower films.
Fair enough.
Is that fair?
I'm not sure I totally agree with you, but I'm sure.
Okay, why don't you agree with me?
I don't think slow necessarily means niche. So that's what I mean. But that's okay.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And, are you gonna? Is it Dark Side of the Moon? Is the next one?
Yeah, that's gonna be my next one.
You excited for that?
I'm super excited for it. You say that's the best one, right?
No. I mean, I don't want to say any of them are best, but the fourth one I think is
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. Yes, that one. I like the third and fourth one the most. I mean,
I know the last one's like terrible.
I mean, I don't love any of them, but I mean, if I had to watch, I would watch the third one or the fourth one, the third one, because I just think it's hilariously stupid that it is a plot that there are Transformers on the dark side of the moon. That is just ridiculous. They just kind of funny.
The funny thing about Transformers is they kind of related it into like all like of humanity. They're like, oh, you know,
that's stupid.
You know what the greatest thing about one of the greatest things about the second one is that it takes place in Egypt, the final act. That is something else. That is just...
that is something that I can see that you would like, yeah.
Of course, man. Who doesn't love Egypt? Egypt's the best country in the world, bro.
The fourth one, there are robot dinosaurs. Again, so stupid.
No, that's the last one.
Nope, that's the fourth one.
Rise of the Beasts.
That's also in the fourth one.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
I can't remember. I saw the fourth one.
And then the fifth one, they go back to the medieval times and...
Optimus Prime.
What's the Merlin? Is it Merlin's table, or what's that thing? Like in history?
Oh, Merlin's or Sir Arthur and the Knights of Camelot.
Yes. So Arthur.
Sir Arthur and the Knights of Camelot.
Arthur got the Transformers to help him, and that's history. That's crazy. It's so stupid.
Can you imagine if that's like true though? Like, can you imagine? Okay, let's assume Transformers history is true. Like, can you imagine if it's not? We didn't build, like, Egyptians didn't build the pyramids. The Transformers built the pyramids. Wouldn't that be nuts? Cybertronian,
I don't know what to say to that.
Cybertronian beings came down, and they built the pyramids. That'd be insane. And they helped Sir Arthur and the Knights of Camelot.
Also, Orson Welles, his final performance, isn't it in Transformers 1? Isn't Orson Welles?
Transformers 1?
Sorry, no, like the first one? Isn't he in the first one?
Yeah, 1986. Yeah. Final performance.
Oh, no, sorry, not final performance, but I'm sorry, him being in that just makes me sad.
What? It's good.
Orson Welles, like, one of like the most pioneering filmmakers of his time, is gonna like voice a Decepticon? Is he? I don't remember what
it
he
was.
is.
It was a planet called.
Oh my god!
Can't remember. It was like Uramon.
A planet? He's a planet?
He's a planet in it. Let me find the name of the
crazy.
planet.
I can't even pretend. That's insane.
It's actually
oh my god.
it's actually like the first one. It's super fast paced. It's insanely fast paced.
Oh, yeah, because they're catering it to like 10-year-olds who have no like attention span.
No attention span.
Yeah. I'll give you the theme song for the TV show. It's pretty cool.
They also, who was the band who was featured in it? What was their name?
I don't remember, but they're cool. I like that song.
they oh man, so he played a character called Unicron. Unicron was the planet name.
Decepticon, Unicron, Megatron. Oh my god. Okay, my favorite movie.
Yes, let's hear it.
The Exorcist.
Ooh. Oh, this week.
Yes.
Wow.
I have a Steelbook Blu-ray of The Exorcist, the director's cut, which is like 12 minutes longer. This is the first time I've ever seen it.
What does it have more in it? What does it feature?
Just there's a couple more little scenes. And
okay.
There's some retroactive CGI moments that I caught a couple of them that I didn't quite get. But the movie's amazing.
The whole film? My grandpa has a really bad story on this film. Like, his experience was terrible.
Why? Tell us.
So, my main man, Giddo. Actually, by the way, before I forget, Stan Bush is the band in Transformers. Or the guy, I can't remember. So, the story goes like this. My grandpa, he's in Spain. He works in Spain at this time. And he goes to the movie theater because his wife, my grandmother, is in Egypt visiting her mother or something like that. She was away. So he heard people were raving about The Exorcist. He's like, let me go check this out. Let me be the judge of that.
This is the time.
Oh, okay. My bad. Let me be the judge of that. And so he went to see it. He came home and he was really scared to the point that he couldn't enter his house, and he slept with all his clothes on. Like, he walked in, he was so scared. It's a scary movie, guys.
That speaks to this being one of the first modern horror movies. This shepherds in movies like Halloween, like Carrie. Mm-hmm. This is really the start of our modern horror age.
I see.
And who better to do that than the god of cinema, William Friedkin, the master of hell on screen and hell off screen.
Wow, that's a great way to put it.
This man...
Did you write that line?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, nice. I commend you for that.
This guy, his movies start off normal, and by the end, his characters are in hell, and off screen on set, William Friedkin creates hell for his crew and actors.
I know that. I've heard about those stories.
I don't think anyone likes this guy. He is apparently not a good person. He's very self-obsessed, and just like not a nice guy. But his movies are otherworldly. They are amazing.
It's a sacrifice you got to make sometimes. Should you be a nice guy, or should you make good movies?
Be a nice guy. But I can appreciate this guy for the movies he makes. They are awesome. I would never want to work with him.
I'd work with this guy.
He put a gun to one of his actors.
Is that all you got, William? Is that all you got, Will? I got.
Oh my god,
bruh, come on, man.
Okay,
he got nothing on me.
Whoa. Okay,
I'm a Taekwondo player of 8 years.
Shall we move on to our
next
segment?
You chose The Exorcist. I chose Transformers because of explosions, because of Megan Fox, because of epic music, because of cool one-liners, and because of great fights. So we are ranking our top 5 directors because we've never done that apparently on the show.
Yeah.
Let's go with your number 5 position.
Okay. For my number 5, and then by the way, we're each going to set our 5, and then we're going to try to make a list of 3.
Yeah.
3 being Yahya is going to pick one of my top 5 to put in. I'm going to pick one of Yahya's top 5, and then we're going to try to decide on a third one for that.
You want to do a music break real quick?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's give you some time to breathe, and then we'll get back.
Do.
And we're back, baby.
I love that song, that tune. We're not
tune.
going to say it just yet, but it's awesome.
All right, Tom. What's your top number 5 director? I actually did not rank them. I wanted to do them in the moment, but I have all 5.
Okay, well, I have my 5 and they're ranked. I'm going to go with Wim Wenders
As your 5th one?
as my 5th.
Give us like his most popular films for those who don't know.
Paris, Texas. The American Friend. Wings of Desire, to name 3 of his most classics. A Perfect Day. One of his modern classics is Perfect Days. Have you seen that one? Came out last year.
Yeah, I've heard it was up for best international film.
Yeah. Until the End of the World is an amazing one.
End of the World.
The State of Things, which is a really interesting one about filmmaking.
Oh.
And there's actually...
Is it fiction or...
No, it is factual about the filmmaking of a film. It's about a German film. I forget which film it is. I want to say... it's a Roger Corman film.
You looked so majestic in that.
Oh, I hope so. And then the last one is Far Away So Close. Those are just 7 of the amazing masterpiece class works he's made. Mm-hmm. He's a German filmmaker. He's got a great eye for story and characters and pairs that with some beautiful visuals. Okay. But the main thing is his characters feel lived in and real, and their motivations feel true to their character.
Okay. I see. And I disagree with this. I don't think he should be even in like a top 20 list, but that's just me. This guy has not done anything.
That's based off seeing only one of his films.
Listen,
right?
This guy, he produces whack and it gets named the best film of the all time.
So, but that's just based off seeing one of his films, right?
Listen, I appreciate the art that went into Paris, Texas, but it's terrible.
But again, that's just based off seeing one singular piece of artwork from him.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool.
Is he still around? He's still around, right?
Yeah, he's still
around. So he might watch this and be like, who is this punk? I think he...
I love you. Don't listen to him. He's amazing.
He has every right.
You're amazing, sir.
I have
You're
a message
amazing.
to one director, actually, that I'm going to mention later on. But, so my number 5...
Who your 5 at?
My 5?
Sorry.
Who my 5 at?
Sorry.
It's...
Who's your 5?
My number 5 is John Woo. You know John Woo?
I'm aware of John Woo. Can I just before you talk? Can I say one thing?
Yes, you can.
John, being the James Bond fan that I am, John Woo was up for 2 James Bond movies. Which 2 were they? The 90s.
90s. GoldenEye.
He was up for GoldenEye, but he declined.
Film.
And then he was up for the next film, Tomorrow Never Dies. They wanted him for both. He said no to both.
That would have been a very different movie.
Yes, GoldenEye with John Woo would be very different.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That'd be insane. I'd love to see that.
I would hate it. I do not want to see that.
Oh, man, that'd be insane. There'd be flying doves and pigeons and fires in slow motion.
I want to see it in an alternate universe, but then I want to travel back to ours because I like ours.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, but please talk about John Woo.
Okay, so John Woo, I don't have much to say about this one because it's number 5, but I think that he's like a master. He's the pioneer of gun fu, one of my favorite sort of styles of fighting.
That is something that's very true to you, is gun fu.
Gun fu, yeah. And one of my favorite gun fu movies is one that Tom Voss absolutely dislikes, which is Equilibrium. Tell the people what you think about Equilibrium.
It's very heavy-handed. And I know 1984 is also very heavy-handed, but I think they're like, do you think the audience gets it? No, I think we should say it again. Do you think they got it last scene? I do not think so. I think we should say it again.
Nuts.
I'll give you that. It is nuts.
It is crazy. I love that movie. Anyway, so
that's not John Woo though.
No. But I'm saying it's like another great gun fu movie.
Oh, okay.
They call it gun kata in this film, though. Anyway, so
gun kata. Oh.
Gun kata, gun fu.
Okay.
He inspired John Wick kind of thing, kind of style. He does the whole. There was actually the funny thing is back in like the 70s, 80s, that kind of era. People didn't know how to like act that well in terms of like extras, and they didn't know how to die on screen. So there's always like the Italian American way of dying, of getting shot, which was this, right? When people get shot, they go, and then there was the Chinese way in Chinese Hong Kong films of like getting shot, which was and they just fall to the ground. So there were those 2 ways were the most iconic ways of death on screen, and I think the Chinese is way better. It's got way more over the top.
Okay.
And yeah, you go. How about you go number 4? I've said enough about John Woo. Yeah,
I'm going to talk about the best, in my opinion, modern working filmmaker.
I know who you're gonna say now.
Who is it?
You're gonna say Spike Lee, aren't you?
Spike Lee.
No, dude, this guy is over the top.
And sorry, how many Spike Lee films have you seen?
Not a single one.
Okay, so what is your what are your qualifications to say Spike Lee?
No qualifications, just
There we
opinion.
go.
Just opinion.
Okay, Spike Lee. Hot take is, as I said, the best 21st century director. He is such an important director because his choice to speak up about the ways in which Hollywood works and how he backs it up with compelling and pointed commentaries on the Black American life. Mm-hmm. I think his movies are amazing. I actually just went on a little Spike Lee.
I know, I saw. Well,
Yeah.
he's got game, right?
Oh, dude, I saw The Inside Man. I saw He's Got Game.
I don't like
Summer
Inside.
of
Oh,
Sam.
actually, then I've seen a Spike Lee film. I've seen Inside Man.
Okay.
I don't like that
sorry,
one.
I've seen just in the past little bit to freshen up. I saw Inside Man, He's Got Game, Summer of Sam, and 25th Hour. I've seen more Spike Lee than that, but that is just what's happened.
Are you rewatching those, or those are
No,
new?
those are all first times.
Okay.
I've seen Black Klansman, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, She's Gotta Have It, and my personal favorite all-time Spike Lee movie, which
Do
is
the Right Thing.
No, Mo Better Blues.
Mo's Better Blues.
Can I just read off the cast? Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, Wesley Snipes, Glenn Cardo Esposito, John Turturro, and I'm forgetting someone. Samuel L. Jackson. There we go.
Samuel L. Jackson is
Tell me
great.
that cast is not stacked.
You know what's the best casted film? The Departed. That's a greatly casted film.
Anyways, yes,
Matt
Spike
Damon.
Lee is. I think he speaks very. He speaks about very important subjects, not only about the Black life, but the Black experience, although that is something that he is very interested in, and so am I, but also about the American way of living. And he's also a great person. He's got great fits. You're not going to see a better dressed director than Spike Lee. And he has a
Nolan.
film class. I sent you this thing.
Yeah, he does.
Spike Lee, he's an amazing person. He's a funny person. He writes, he directs, and he acts in his movies.
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
I know, I give him a chance. I like the guy.
Who's your fourth?
My fourth?
Oh, also Spike Lee better than Tarantino.
Okay.
Much better.
My fourth, I was between two, but I'm going to go with this guy. Jim Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these guys, I also put them on the list, not because of their films, but because of their persona. Like, I like this. Like,
James Cameron could have been on my list.
he's like, oh my God, dude.
James Cameron is self-obsessed, but he backs it up with amazing
How good
work.
his film, yeah.
Yes, so he gets a pass, even though he's very narcissistic because...
I like that about him, though. I like that about him. Sometimes I like the ego in it, like a director or a character, or like, like sometimes the ego in a person when it's backed up by like pure art or like pure cinema, it's just amazing. Like he's a guy. Conor McGregor is also another guy who like his art is backed up by.
Not recently.
Not recently, no. I mean like Prime McGregor, like in 2015.
Okay, speak to Cameron. What are your favorite things that he brings to a film? What are things that he brings to a film that someone else doesn't?
He's just really good at pioneering different ways to shoot something.
He's for all we talk about not liking CGI, he actually does it very well. And I'm not even talking about Avatar. I'm talking about The Abyss and T2.
Yeah,
those are some of the best. Those are like pioneering CGI special effects with the metal man and the water head. Like those, I think we're always talking about practical effects, but I think James Cameron does CGI very well.
Yeah, he does do it. I'm gonna ask you to go to your number third because we are running out of time here.
Okay, this one I think you'll agree a bit more with. Stanley Kubrick.
I knew this guy. I knew him was gonna be on this list.
Stanley Kubrick is someone very different than Spike Lee. Spike Lee will make a film a year, and there'll be a varying quality. I love Spike Lee, but I don't think everything he's done is amazing. Stanley Kubrick is the opposite. Stanley Kubrick will make one film every 5 to 10 years, and they will normally be a banger. He strives for perfection, and in doing so, will just be off the grid for like 10 years. From Metal Jacket to something like Eyes Wide Shut. Mm-hmm. But he's obsessed with everything. Everything in his movies are there for a reason. If you see a glass that is spilled in the background, there's a reason for that.
That's too much, bro. Honestly, like, you want my honest opinion? Like, get a life. Come on. Not you.
Filmmaking
Stanley.
is his life.
Stanley.
Yes, so that's my. Then I had one question for you pertaining to this.
Yeah.
Do you value quality or quantity in your favorite directors, or can you straddle both?
I think I straddle both. I think that it's important to have more quantity because that gives you more experience when creating quality.
Okay, I would go with quality. I'm
would.
happy. I like someone like Kubrick. If Kubrick was living today and he made one film every 10 years, but it was something that was true to him and was expertly made, I would rather that than see a mediocre to great Kubrick film every 2 or 3 years.
I'd be happy with it mediocrely because I've seen mediocre Kubrick films, kind of like Clockwork Orange. That movie's kind of overrated.
It is a horrible movie in what it is depicting, but it is a great movie.
Overrated.
Anyways, who your third?
My third is Steven Spielberg.
I can't disagree with you.
I love Steven Spielberg. He's my man. He's done he's got a great persona. He's a super nice guy. He's one of those directors who can direct well, and he's also can be a nice guy. He's got some great works like Jurassic Park.
What's
like
your favorite
Minority.
decade? If you had to pick 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh, 90s, 2000s.
Okay, and why is that?
Because they're peak, man. Peak films.
Do you want to speak more to that?
They got there's a nice grit to them. They cater to they just had so much fun.
Do you think he balances his more serious and his more popcorn films in the 90s?
What is a popcorn film in the 90s? Like Jurassic Park. What is a serious film in the 90s?
Schindler's List.
I see.
Do you think he has a good balance where he gets a lot of? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. I totally forgot he did that one.
He did them back to back in the same year.
He did them back to back in the same year. I mean, no director's ever done that. He's a legend. Mm-hmm. Let's jump to your number 3.
2. My number 2 is someone that I had mentioned earlier today, and that is William Friedkin.
Aha.
Yep. This is basically saying the same thing I did in a different way. He is the master of hell on screen. His movies dissolve into pure chaos on and off set. Mm-hmm. To Live and Die in LA is a masterwork. Sorcerer is a masterwork.
Is he also like a bad guy, like Wim Wenders? No, sorry, I confused the two. Never mind. Okay,
William Friedkin is the horrible guy.
It's the horrible guy.
French Connection is amazing. What's the one he did with Cruising? Cruising is really good. Yeah. I've spoken about him, so it's okay. I've spoken about him enough, so we'll move on. But horrible guy, great films. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm ashamed. I'm not ashamed to do this. I have a really good number 1 spot, but the reason I have this guy at number 2 is because I know the number 1 spot. I've met the guy. I love the guy.
I know who that is.
Yeah. So for number 2, I put Michael Bay. Are you surprised?
Not surprised.
Okay. This guy, he's insane. I don't know. I don't care about his filmography as much, but he's got this persona. Boom, Bayham. Boom, Bayham. He's got everything.
So with your ranking, is it based off the person or the films? Just so we get that clear.
Depends on the person. The person.
Okay, so this is more about how they present themselves in the public than their actual output of film?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I love this guy, man. I want to be like Michael Bay one day. Bro, this guy, he's got such great ego that one time, bro, he literally on Instagram the other day, he was in his private pool and he's like, hey guys, so pool reflections time. I did Bad Boys. Everyone said I couldn't do it. I did it. Here we are.
I like your Trump accent you've got going on there.
That's a Trump thing?
No, you just sounded.
I sounded for a second. A lot of guys.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
Okay. What's your favorite Michael Bay movie?
Oh, I'm going to go Welcome to the Rock.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm not a big Michael Bay fan, but that would be the one that I would put up.
You said 6 Underground. I think 6 Underground is not good.
Oh yeah, those are the two. I only like 2 Michael Bay films, and it's The Rock and 6 Underground.
6 Underground is not. It's not it.
It's all of it. Okay. Anything more to say about? Anything more to say?
No. You want to go for your number 1?
Yeah, I mean,
I know who it is.
Yeah, knows it. You guys probably know it by now. Howlin' Pressburger.
Yeah.
Not that ratings really mean anything, especially ours, or I will speak for myself, especially mine, as someone who is very new to this, but based purely off of how many films I've given a 5-star on Letterboxd, which again, totally superfluous, doesn't mean anything. But these guys got a heavy hitting ratio. I've seen over 13, I think 13 or 14 of their films.
Yeah.
7 of them have like a 5-star, and the lowest is a 3.5 out of 5.
That's unbelievable.
That's a pretty good hit ratio.
Yeah.
These guys and me, we think alike. They show what I want to see, which is beautiful shots, compelling characters, a story that progresses very well. The characters are always different at the end, whereas where they are at the beginning. Yeah, and Technicolor. That's the other thing. These guys understand Technicolor.
Yeah, their movies look good. I'll admit that.
They're shot well, and the colors are phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It is honestly insane. Please speak to your number one. I think I know who it is.
Yeah. I kind of briefly. There's only one director I know. Like, there's only one. But when making this list, I was unsure to put, like, I had a couple in mind, but I said I owe it to this guy. He showed me the reins, the filmmaking industry. He kind of took me in, mentored me, and he's done that with a lot of upcoming directors. So hopefully I'm one of those guys. But he's a great man. His name is Sharif Arafa. He's a film director in Egypt. He's won many awards. He was almost nominated for Best International Film once for the Oscars, but it was robbed of him, in my opinion. It was for film Gizira. I mentioned this briefly at the beginning. It's a great film. It's almost like The Godfather or Goodfellas, but it is with Egyptian, or not even just Egyptian, just like south of Egypt. Issues, and it's it's based on a true story as well, so more like Goodfellas than The Godfather. But I think he is he's known as the Spielberg of Egypt. He's able to direct something, and then the next year he directs something completely different. He does dramas, and then he does biopics, and then he does an action movie, and then he does a comedy. So I think he has that range. He's able to master that range really well. So thank you, Chief Arafa, and thank you, Tara Arafa, as well, for helping me out in my filmmaking journey. I just feel like I had to owe it to them. Not mentioning them on this list.
That's very well said.
Not mentioning Sharif Arafa on this list would be, to say the least, not an honorable thing to do. And I want to be an honorable man like Maximus Decimus Meridius. So let's jump into a music break real quick.
Should we quickly go to the bad scene, good scene? Then
I was going to say, do you want to do this next episode in more in depth? And we could do a one-liner?
Yeah. Okay. We have a really good segment, but we'll do it on our YouTube. We'll just highlight what it is to give you a little taste.
Yeah.
We have bad scenes in good movies, and then good scenes in bad movies.
Exactly.
We thought this was really cool, and we both have some pretty good picks. We will save that for later.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into the one-liners.
Yeah.
What is your one-liner?
Let's do a music break real quick, so that you guys have enough time to guess it. We'll give you a very brief time, and then.
Hello.
Right. What's your favorite one-liner, Tom?
My favorite one-liner is from Good Will Hunting.
Oh.
Do you like apples? Well,
how do you like them apples?
I got her number. How do you like them apples?
Oh my God. I actually did not expect this line to be one of yours.
This movie is shot at U of T.
It is?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of films are shot in Canada.
Yeah, because it's cheap.
Yeah, I asked one of my professors to work on The Boys because he worked on The Boys, but I gotta know.
Yeah, this line, just I think it really encapsulates what the theme of the movie. That the class structure does not inhibit Will Hunting. I almost called him Good Will Hunting. Sorry, Will Hunting is his name.
It's bad Will Hunting, brother.
Yeah, it's a great line. I did not do it justice in my delivery, but it's such a pump up cheer line in the movie. I loved it. Yeah. Please tell us.
Okay,
yours.
so I was between two. I don't know this film, but I heard this line on YouTube, and it's a great line. This guy is I think this guy is there's these like people, and they go to like raid a church or something, and they come across like this priest. Actually, this might be Death Wish. I'm not sure.
I've seen Death Wish, so let me know. And I'll
Okay,
tell you if it's from Death Wish.
he walks in. It's Charles Bronson though. He's wearing like a. These guys are raiding a church, and then the other priest, he kind of like gets a hold of a gun and he shoots all these guys, and then he's wearing like a necklace that has like a cross, and he looks at the guy. He says, "Ah, so you believe in Jesus?" And he goes,
This is Death Wish, yeah.
And he goes, "Well, you're gonna meet him." He blows him up. That is such a good line, dude. Imagine that's the last thing you hear before you get killed. You believe in Jesus? Well, you're gonna meet him. And then another great line. I'm gonna briefly mention it because I can't keep it down to two. In Con Air, Nicolas Cage says, "There are two people I trust in this world. One of them's me, and the other's not you." So great, two great lines. Anyways,
The cheese fest.
The Cheese Fest.
Cheese fest.
Cheese Fest.
Well, anyways, thank you so much, Spiritlive, for having us for the 6 episodes. We hope to continue on YouTube and hopefully continue next season on Spiritlive. But for the meantime, please follow us on YouTube. We hope to put out. We're gonna hopefully shoot a couple episodes this week, next week, and have them come out sequentially each week for your listening and audio pleasure.
Yes, you guys will enjoy them. Please tune in. It'll be fun. It'll be lots of fun.
We've had so much fun doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for
Spiritlive.
Yeah, thank you, Spiritlive. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching the whole thing go round. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure. I'll do it up here so we can actually see, not have this computer.
Bless, guys. Bless. Thanks so much. We'll do one more last time. It's a see you soon, not a goodbye. But you want to do?
Indeed.
We'll see you at the movies one last time.
It would be my pleasure.
All right, hold on. Let me have a good transition out of it, because I always have a terrible transition. So let me transition out of this. Good. Okay. Right. It's this camera right here. This camera.
Cool.
Ready. 1, 2, 3. We'll see you at the movies. Love y'all. Love
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. Peace.